Welcome back to the Port Macquarie Regional Stadium. We have the Women's Opens, Central Coast Dolphins and the Canterbury Bulldogs in the Women's Opens A for this clash. Should be a hotly contested game here as Central Coast will run in the navy blue, and we've got a very, very early injury there. I think there was an issue in the previous game and unfortunately succumbing to the injury, and Amy Regal will make her way off to see medical as the Coast girls will go on the attack here, and they run this sweeper and they play down, and there's Grant, picks it up and goes to Rooster play and gives it away to Hughes. And Grant, a New South Wales representative in the women's 20, she steps off the right, looks to go back, and she's offside, and referee says ball down, and Canterbury survived the first set. And the Dogs are a State Cup specialist. They've won numerous tournaments over the last few years as the Smith medalist Courtney Young takes the ball to the box, and there's Flanagan now taking it up over halfway, and Austin gets the dummy half, and the ball's passed away, and there's Bissett with the ball out, and there's Phillips. Phillips going for the line. There's a foot race on, the big dive by the Central Coast. A fantastic touch by Taryn Love. And the Coasties survived that tirade down this left-hand touchline as Cummins goes across field. She plays the ball, Beck picks it up, she hits short. Charging onto that was Sailor Perrott, and the Central Coast girls defend, and there's some Tide girls already there looking for the sub-box as they head forward, and the ball's passed there. It looked to be forward, and Hughes will tuck it under the arm, and they switch on the field, and here comes Langbridge, and Langbridge looks to dance, and she shimmies, and they get up near halfway, and good hand, and Langbridge will take it forward, and they give the ball back through Watson, and Watson gives it to Langbridge, and Langbridge gets up over the 10. Watson gives it away. There's Mannion with the ball. Mannion will play it. Mannion, ball's picked up, and short ball, and they go for the line. Langbridge and Watson there working in and about. The Dogs survive. End-to-end stuff here at the Port Macquarie Regional Stadium. A big thank you to the Port Macquarie Hastings River Council, who've done a fantastic job. We've had some really good weather up here over the last 6 weeks. And we've had also this morning, you may have seen it in the earlier games, the time slots, we had some rain here this morning, about 15 mil overnight, and the ground's in fantastic condition right out to West Tuffin. So big credit to Kerry, the groundsman here, who gets a bit nervous every time a touch football tournament comes here as they go for theirs. Chung gets the ball off the ground, looks on the inside, and they're going wide, and the captain opened up there, and Keely Silva, the vice-captain, couldn't hold on to it for the Dogs. And there's Mannion who'll take the ball forward and get up near the 10. Good touch by Enright Bullock. She comes off the line and makes it. And the Coasties now looking to go forward and get up over halfway, and the ball, there's no one there. She picks the ball up. Good hander, looks for no one, and the ball's thrown away by Corbett. And Corbett tries to play the ball. They've earned the penalty. Alexandra Chung in defence. As the Coast get their first real chance here to attack. On the line they go, the Rooster play, and ball's away from good end. Long pass over the top by Trisley, and it's defended well. It's Zali Austin on that far wing who defends it. As Chung takes the ball forward and picked up by Andy Law and gives it away to Bobby, and Bobby takes it to the box, and here they go through. Emerson Beck will take the ball forward, and she's met just short of halfway by Corbett, and there's Tandek with the ball, and Tandek, the captain, she goes forward, picked up by Young. Young looks, she dummies and goes, and the Coast defence is in nice and tight. And they save it, and this is end-to-end stuff here early in this game. Nil all, it's a few minutes in, and the Coast girls just looking to sort of struggle here out of their own end, and Courtney Young gets off the line and has a bit of pressure, and Emerson Beck pushes up. The Dogs here looking to take it. 3 players on the field. That's not going to get them anywhere, the Coast Girls. And they take it forward. And there's Taryn Love. She gets up near halfway and gets over it, in fact, and gives the ball away to Watson. And Watson's touch. And Love picks it up. And they end the set. They're a good defensive set by the Dogs. Advantage Canterbury here. And they'll play the field position game, I dare say. And Phillips will come up this left-hand touchline. And she'll get up over halfway. Beckett, dummy half, gives it away to Tandek. And Tandek passes off to Young. And Young will look for Flanagan. They'll go the sweep play. There's Tandek. Young off the ground at Tandek. She straightens it up. She'll go down Young. Tandek picks it up. Out ball to Flanagan. Flanagan for the line. They've got numbers. Flanagan dives and she's over. Flanagan scores. Canterbury will play from in front today. And play after play there, the momentum building on the sweep, and they pass the ball back. Tandek picked it up, the outline from Flanagan, and the Dogs get on the board first after the Coast were valiant in defence early. Bit of running play from the Dogs has opened them up. And they'll get their chance to hit back here, the Coast Girls, as they go forward through Good Hand. It'll be Kate Good Hand. Trisley at dummy half. The ball's passed and she's in front of her, but backward says the ref, and there's Langbridge who takes the Rooster play. They've got space, and Enright Bullock on that wing shuts down the play. And they'll continue to go again. Ball's off the ground. Picked up. And take it wide now. There's good hand, and she looks to step off the right and dive at the line, and Canterbury there in defence with Cummins and Chung, and will play the ball back, and there's Brooke, good hand. The sisters working there on that right-hand side. And the ball's passed away by Langbridge. They go the sweet play, and there's good hand. She goes, and 88, Bobby Law was offside. The referee says touched. Are we going penalty to the Coast? Yes, we will. Bobby Law there ruled offside. And they'll continue their assault here on the Dogs' defence. Laura Knight on the field. She'll get to half for Trisley. And Trisley will get the link quickie with not a lot of space. And Enright Bullock in defence is all over. And tight pass there. And turns it into a stretch as well. Why not? Cramping early in the tournament on the Friday morning is not necessarily a great sign, as there's good hand. And they throw out ball through Watson. And it's can't be handled by Corbett. And they turn it over. A really good opportunity there for the Coast. And they just struggle to capitalise on that, but the intensity in the defence is there. Some good pressure, but not enough numbers, and they head down that far touchline. And there's Bobby Law with some speed, and the referees called off the mark on that far touchline. Very animated signal there for those watching at home. A big shout out, a big welcome to you all tuning in. A big thank you to the crew of Bar TV who are streaming this for us. The crew do a fantastic job at all of our events. So a big thank you to the Bar TV crew. And as the Coast go on the attack again, there's Mannion, steps off the right. She looks dangerous, Mannion. This is her first year in the Women's Opens or Women's Premier League. She polled some points in the Smith Medal for the Vorden Cup as Coast pick it up, and there's a wasted opportunity for the Coast Girls. And definitely not panic stations just yet here at 1-0. And I'll take the ball forward at 10. No, it's not. It's Shannon Bissett. My apologies. Flanagan there with the ball. Plays it. Young takes it up to the 10. Flanagan picks it up. Flanagan gives back to Young. The Smith medalist, as mentioned, Flanagan plays it. Gets the ball off to Young, and Young over the top, and good defence on that far side. Liz Bauer. They're holding on the Coast. In Canterbury, they like to come from the back. They're happy just to play, and they look to come over the top of teams. That's been their style for a long time. And the coaching staff of Flanagan, Forrester, and Fleming, a very experienced campaigner, has been with these girls for a long time. And you can't buy experience from Coles, that's for sure, or Woolies. So there's the Coast Girls there, just making an error just short of halfway, and The Dogs will go on the attack here 10 minutes in. It's 1-0 to Canterbury, and they go forward there with Tandek, and ball's passed away by Beck, and that's ball down for consistency, but the referee says no, that's okay, and spread the ball wide, and there's Bissett with the ball. No, it's not. It's Silver with the shoulder taped, and Tandek with the ball now. Switches Beck under, and Tandek's going to go the sweep. Chung will play it. Beck off the ground. Tandek for the line. She dives. It's a great touch. Great touch on that far side by Trisley. And they survive.
Thanks very much for having us here.
And I'm joined in commentary by Luke Heckendorf. And we'll turn him on in a second. And it's probably better the longer that we don't. But here he is, and he's been out refereeing.
Oh, thanks very much for having me, Nathan. It's actually quite a good day now the rain stopped, and I've just come off the back of, I think it was South Kempsey Fields. I don't know who put me on the back fields, but it's come off a men's opens game, so I've just got a little bit of a breath catch here, but we'll get through it.
Got the sweat pouring.
Yeah.
You found a game that made you work?
A little bit. It was Canterbury and Ryde Eastwood Hawks, and they put us through our paces first up. So, no, it's great to be here and up in Port Macquarie. But this game here, Central Coast. And the Bulldogs coming off a Vorden Cup final, unfortunately losing in that final, and Central Coast always strong, and this will be a cracking game with the last 18 and a half minutes to go.
As Bobby Law picks it up and she gets into the backfield and can't capitalise on that opportunity there. Law, Newcastle Knights, NRLW player, and it's great to see Bobby in action, picked up in the player draft by Canterbury. And a little birdie tells me, Luke, that there's someone that will be happy that you made it here to watch her play. Is that correct?
My partner plays for the Canterbury Bulldogs, so I think she'd be pretty happy. I'm watching the game, so we'll see how we go, and we'll hopefully see her play well.
So if Luke gets excited, we'll apologise in advance if Luke gets excited, if Kate can cross the stripe. As this game, Luke, so far, I know you said you've just come from South Taree or South Kempsey.
North Kempsey.
North Kempsey out the back. So, it's been end-to-end stuff. I think Dogs definitely have the momentum just to fill you in. Hopefully the viewers at home, they're spot on with what my thoughts are as Tandek goes forward and Young picks up the ball. And she steps in and Young, she's got through, space to beat, and Tandek's got there. Courtney Young, there's a reason why she's a Smith medalist. She's in some serious form, Luke.
You can see when she just picks up the ball from dummy half there, just knows exactly what's happening. It's like the defence sort of held off knowing she was dummy half, but you've got one of the best players in the game at the moment in Young, and then you got one of the everlasting players in the middle in Tandek, and she can still play.
I believe they think she was made by Willy Wonka, actually. She's like the everlasting gobstopper. She's just the everlasting touch player, Claire Tandek. She just turns up time after time for the Dogs, and she does a serious job for them, and there she is getting the desserts and the treats of a try on the stadium. And the Coast looked to hit back, and ball passed away, and the referee says late pass, and the Dogs with a 2-0 advantage, getting to the halfway point. Now, I spoke a little bit earlier. We're back to 30 minutes. Touchdown turnaround. Luke, how was that? How did you find that, being out on the field?
After a try was scored, I did run to the wrong side a couple of times, and you realise, actually, we're running the other way. But it's always good to come back into this format. 30 minutes, you hit it out. Don't have to worry about half time, so you just 30 minutes as hard as you can, and off you come. So, yeah, it's always good to come back to this format. It's always nice to have a break in between as well, but it's always a good experience getting back to State Cup. 30 minutes straight, you run through.
It's the first time. Bobby Law over the top, and
touch made there.
Sister Andy there takes possession, but his touch. Referee on the spot for that decision, and we must thank our referees, Luke. I know how many games do you have today?
We've got 5 games today. So it's a matter of coming off a game and and having a break. Lucky I can come up into the not so air-conditioned commentary box and have a bit of a spell. But yeah, referees have between 4 and 6 games, and yeah, they're always working pretty hard. Good touch on the line there by the Dogs, but
we'll get James while he's having a break to open up the windows for us, mate. That'll be as close as you'll get to aircon up here. But no, it's as you said, the referees do a fantastic job. So we give big thanks to referees. It was great this morning in the tent. Vic Namovsky, I believe, was presented with it's his 30th consecutive state cup. Now that's the same age as me. I would have been just over a month old, and for that time that have been live victors been coming to state cup. It's a serious effort.
He said his first state cup was 1992, so it's showing how long he's been running around for. I'm sure he's seen a few changes over the years as well.
Yeah, we've got an injury. We've got a player well and truly down in the middle of the field, and
so Central Coast thought, well, we're going to send another player on and stop the game.
Yep, and Pete Forrester coming to the aid. There's a big collision back in the middle of the field, and I think, in all fairness, with the way the game is played, I don't, whilst the referees are in play, it's very hard to try and pick up something like that. So give credit to the referees for stopping the play. I think the advantage should go. It is a contact sport after all, and collisions happen, and you'd like to see advantage played. And whilst it's not necessarily fair in a way to the defending team, it's happened. It's part of the game, and anyway, we've stopped playing.
You've got to have a look at. It's all about the player welfare as well. So you've got to look at, is that player going to be okay? Ultimately, she's out the back, so there is no really real danger for her. But you've got to make sure that player's okay, because you don't know what's happened there, and there's not too many referees out there who are doctors, and those that are probably too worried about refereeing it as it is. So we've got to make sure that we look after the players.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. Looks like the player's winded. She's taking a few deep breaths on the sideline, so she'll no doubt be back in action in the next few minutes. As they're on the attack again, the Coast, and they're getting up near that line, and they're just in this end-to-end battle at the moment. Canterbury just controlling. You can see they're just controlling the tempo quite well, and with players like Young and Tandek in the middle, they're just easily able to do that, aren't they, Luke?
Yeah, that 13-9, I think they're running the sub-box now as we speak about them, but you can just see they know what they're doing. It's not too much effort for them as the ball's dropped there. But, yeah, you can see those players that really turn it on, and they know what they're doing. This Dolphins side from the Central Coast looks quite a young side, so they're just going to run all day. So they'll look to probably hit back towards the back end of this game as the Dogs start to tire a little bit.
I spoke before, speaking of young, about Morgan Mannion. She's one of the youngest in this Dolphins team, and she polled some votes in the Vorden Cup for the Smith medal, and she's obviously got a bright future in the game, and she's showing glimpses here, and if she can get some open space, no doubt she'll be hard to catch as they run the sweep play there, and the ball's passed, intercepted, and the referee's not happy with that, and I think that penalty might have been against the winger for not moving forward on this side, so they'll go again. And they'll attack again. No,
we'll run through with that one.
Stephanie Cummins there on the line, called offside, and they'll get up, look to press up there with Perrott, and Mannion will go the link quickie. She gets the ball, she steps up. Bobby Law, does she? Dives for the line, and the referee says touched. And Mannion, she's quick out there, and looking at that
Bobby
line.
Law's quick as well. She's up on her toes, moving around.
There will be. Speaking of the big weekend, it's you're a part of the New South Wales High Performance Referees Unit, Luke. So they'll be no doubt the coaches there. They'll be rapt that you'll be getting in a few extra games ahead of pre-season on Monday.
Yeah, hopefully the runs that I track on my smartwatch sync through, and they see that we've done a few Ks over the weekend, and yeah, putting in the effort before we get back into a solid pre-season. It's always a good opportunity for referees to come together at the State Cup right before Christmas, roll the legs over. There's plenty of referees. There's plenty of excitement in the referees' tent this morning, and we'll no doubt see a few referees go through and run all the way through until the afternoon on Sunday as the Dogs turn it over.
Yeah, Andy Law couldn't stay on her feet, and second error coming out. She might need to look for some new boots there. A couple of times she slipped over in the middle of the field there. So the Dolphins with a chance to attack. There's over 10 minutes left. There's plenty of time. No shortage, that's for sure. They go hard at the line and they pull it up, and this is Corbett and Goodhand working, and they're getting Trisley involved as well. And Goodhand will play the ball. They go the Rooster. Trisley just goes over the top, and it's out the back. And Trisley pointing and giving directions there, but they weren't able to capitalise once again.
It just feels like the Coast are just lacking that one player who can really rip a ball out to the wing. Dogs sort of have that player in Logan Flanagan who, she can really throw that long ball and get it out to the wing. So hopefully the Coast can pull one of those out, because generally if you can throw a long ball, you'll score more often than not. So we'll see what happens as a penalty's given away to the Dogs. See what they can do.
They truck up over halfway, and Flanagan's on the field, and you've got Young and Tandek as well as Bissett there, and there's Young, and the Coast are falling like flies at this stage of the game.
Yeah. And you can hear the ref blowing that penalty, saying to the Coast, to the Dolphins, it was accidental, we know you're offside, but you have impacted play, so Canterbury will get another set of 6.
I think that's Amy Regal again. She started the game, Luke. You would have missed that. And she tapped off and literally came from the field straight after the first play. As Young will go for the line. She steps, and that was a late pass, and referee's all over that. Johnny on the spot. But yeah, she tapped off and literally made contact with the first, and there was nothing in the first touch. And she literally just dropped the ball and walked off the field. So I'm going to assume there's a physio down there underneath what you might be able to see, the little shed there in the change rooms.
Some of the magic spray.
Yeah, a bit of magic water. It obviously hasn't worked.
The sponge.
Hasn't worked that well on this occasion, but hopefully we wish Amy all the best, and hopefully she can participate in the rest of the tournament. But the Coast turn over again, and this is where the Dogs have slowly built some momentum, and they'll come down this left-hand touch line there as they go over the 50th year. Of course, New South Wales touch in their 50th year celebrating as Flanagan takes it and dummy, and she fooled everyone, but not the cameraman. He's all over that, and Tandek will look, they'll give, and this is the same play they ran before. Flanagan steps off, and she goes away. That was play on, I agree with that, and Flanagan will get the quickie, and Tandek picks it up, gives it away. Flanagan can't handle it, and they get touched, and the Dogs before their first try came off a compounding play, so they ran a couple of sweepers in the lead-up and then were just too good. Flanagan stood them up like a first date, and they got the chocolates there, and that's a penalty, you'd think. No, the referee says ball down. So
I actually don't disagree with that decision. The player with the ball, they really need to maintain their feet. You can't just say because they've touched me you lose the ball that it's a penalty. You need to make sure that you go in with the correct body position. That's what I'm looking for when I'm refereeing. Of course, if it's a hard touch, it's a hard touch, but you've got to make sure that fair's fair in those contests.
Don't disagree with that at all, Luke. Now, obviously, been a level 6 for a while, and you've been to many a state cup. And what are the goals for this one for Maddo? If you can channel the panel and Maddo for a moment. What are the goals for this state cup?
I missed the last. Well, everyone missed last year's state cup, but the year before I took a year off, and this tournament has a lost ball in the middle. This tournament for me, it's just a matter of getting through the tournament, really, making sure that we keep the body in check. It's probably one which I haven't come into with the best fitness I've ever had in my life, but we'll get through, and hopefully we'll have some good results come Sunday.
Well, for those that do know you, Luke, and those tuning at home, no doubt all the boys from our referee squad are tuning in. They love the touch footy, and they love it. We probably should have given them a text and let them know that we're going to be in commentary to give them a quick shout out. But I know that you've got a big motor, there's no question of that, so no doubt. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that you'll be featuring on Sunday, hopefully deep into it for you, mate.
I did say to the assessors in that last game, I just came off, I said, once I get up to speed, I'm fine. It just takes me a little bit to get there. So, on a 70-metre touch field, we generally hit top speed at about the 60-metre mark.
Oh, that's okay. I know that your turning circle's not as big as mine, and it's like the Queen Mary, that's for sure. So I'll hope you're nice and right for that 1.2 when we get back into it, as Law goes through, and there's a little bit of confusion, the referee, and they go ball down. And
to be fair, again, the players in that situation, they can't count on receiving a penalty, so you've really got to back yourself and go, you know what, even though you might be in and around that ruck area, pick the ball up and just get on with it. And if the penalty comes, the penalty comes, but don't look up at the ref and go, why aren't we getting a penalty? You've got to make sure that you play to the whistle.
The old adage of just play the whistle, as you said. I was just about to chip in, but you beat me to it. There's the Dolphins on the attack again, and Mannion will get to half. Mannion picks it up. She steps. She goes. Oh, Jesus, the shimmy there. She stepped off that left and beat Chung, and it was Andy Law that was there to make the touch, and that was sharp play by Mannion. And she's the only one, I think, in this 25 minutes that we've been playing for that has threatened the attack. As you said, there's probably two things down on that line that make a difference, and one's speed and one's obviously the pass. And Mannion's probably got the speed. I think Trisley's got the pass, and Courtney Young's touched her there. I feel like the referees missed that one as Tandek goes sideways, and the big arm was outstretched, and the touch was there. And Tandek's pointing at the line, pleading with the referee, and the referee doesn't want to bar of it.
I think the Dogs got away with that one there when Young ran through and sort of used her forearm to sort of push her out of the way. If you are running through and make contact intentionally with an offside player, it does actually count as a touch for those watching at home, or if you're unsure. So they got away with one.
So if you get the chance to look, that's forward by an absolute country there. And the sideline referee is going to stop this, I dare say. And that's a good pick-up by the sideline ref, because that was country's forward. So, yeah, as Luke mentioned, if you get a chance to go back and have a look at it on the Facebook page, when number 13, Courtney Young, picked it up, she actually touched the defending player that was retreating. Now that player has to be making an attempt to get onside. Can't just be standing there in the way, but once the touch is initiated with the ball, then it should be change over. The referees missed that one, but the referees overall in this game are going really well, and no doubt Mr. Senior on the sideline with clipboard in hand will be happy with the progress so far. The Dolphins get another opportunity. There's Corbett picks it up. And the ball couldn't be handled by good hand.
No, there's been some good teamwork. You've got to remember these referees, they don't have radios. They're not wired up. So you can see when the Dogs threw that forward pass before, they played on a little bit until the referee actually got the signal from the sideline. So some good teamwork. And, yeah, you've got to remember when you're out at these tournaments, there's 30-odd fields running, so we can't really use radios because you need 30-odd channels to be on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's got that. It's Phillips comes down the left touchline. Oh, Luke got excited there. We've had to grab him by the shoulders. But 2-0 the Dogs. It's been quite interesting that Flanagan, she'll go long. She throws over the top. Phillips grabs the ball. Great diving touch. That's a great diving touch that denies Phillips on this touchline. And the player doesn't want to play the ball. She just runs straight off after that. She's happy with her handiwork there, but fantastic touch.
Yeah, some good play as well. Flanagan's known for that long ball, and very impressive touch. I'd like to have another look at it and zoom in on it to see if it was made, because I'm sure Kate will try and claim it a bit later on this afternoon. But yeah, some good play from Flanagan, but some really good defence on the wing. You can't discredit the defensive effort.
Yeah, 2.5 on the clock and 2-0 lead to the Dogs. So it's not over yet. Touch, you can score very quickly. It's 30-second sets, and the ball's been knocked down by the Dogs. And
Logan's saying she didn't play at it, but 100% every time that happens, you're going to call 6 again. Your hand's gotten in the way, and you've gone down to make that touch.
So turn the ball away. Again, the Coast, and time is now the enemy for the Central Coast. Flanagan with the big hand. She's going to be penalised there. She lashed out there.
Bit of frustration from the call before. She definitely plays with plenty of passion, and sometimes, it's you see that passion, and it sometimes might just get a little bit heated. But players who play with passion are sometimes the best players, because they use that and get that behind them, and that's a player like Logan Flanagan with the passion and the skill to match as well.
You must rate me pretty highly then, obviously, if players that play with passion are up there with the best, apparently. So I'll
not
take
all,
that.
but most. Yeah,
I don't get many compliments from you, so I'll take that one.
We've seen the passion on display at Milpera, Bankstown Touch. On a weeknight, so we'll leave that where it is. Hey.
Yeah, I haven't currently. I think they're heading back soon to Vale of Var since the floods at the start of the year, or more so March and April. They haven't been back down there.
It takes a while to dry out.
Yeah, they've had some issues with the surface, but they should be back there hopefully in the new year. So Vale of Var is one of the best venues in New South Wales for touch. Don't you worry about that. Young picks it up, Tandek, and the referee is calling forward, but he said it's a forward pass, but the defence was offside. So
I'd like another look at that pass. I'm not sure it was, but
they had to go in and behind. It always makes it hard and always plays with a bit of the angle once they have to go in, and Tandek will step back, and it's just opened up. It's opened up like a wardrobe in the morning, and Tandek dives forward and gets her second, and the Dogs put the nail in the coffin for this one. They'll take some points here in the second round of the Women's Open day.
To be fair, you could see as soon as they received that penalty, if they didn't score, it was almost as good as a try, because with 35 seconds on the clock, you can really just wind the clock down and control that. But of course, Tandek and the girls said, no, we're going to score.
And the Coast here, can they get one on the hooter?
Touch was made in there by Flanagan.
Makes a touch, and that'll be all she wrote. The Canterbury Bulldogs 3 defeating the Central Coast Dolphins 0. And I want to thank Luke Heckendorf for joining me. Luke will be back a little bit later on in coverage, so big thanks, Hex, and good luck
Thanks
for
for having
tournament,
me.
mate. We'll catch you later on. I'll let James Preston and the General Manager, Dean Russell, be in the hot seat for our next game.